Okay, now I think I'm ready. Whenever I make a video, I swear I need to go in and out of my bedroom to get things that I need, but I think I'm all set up now. Got my drink, got the question all set up. Let's get into it. So, first off, if you don't know who I am, I'm just a little stripper from the East Coast, and my name is Janet Kelly. Welcome to my page. I'm gonna post this on my Instagram, on my YouTube. I just really wanted to answer this question and put it on the two platforms that I use the most, which is here and YouTube. So let's get into it. We're going to be doing a get ready with me slash answering this question. This question is from Dancers Matter 2 on Instagram. I'm going to put it down in the description box below so you can give them a follow and just kind of check out their page. It's just a nice, like, safe space for us dancers to talk about certain topics. And this topic, I was like, girl, I got things to say about this topic. So yeah, I'm gonna be getting ready as I answer the question. So basically what I was gonna do, I wasn't even gonna make a video, to be honest with you, but when I typed in my response, like under the post, it would not post on there, and I kept pressing retry, wasn't going, so I'm like, bitch, I'm about to make a video, okay? So here is the question. Strippers, entertainers, exotic dancers. Question of the day. For the house fee, what should you expect that's why I wear glasses. What should you expect out of management, bouncers, DJs, and house mom? So before I get into my response, I'm gonna explain what these things are. So a lot of people who aren't dancers are gonna be like, house fee, what's that? House fee is basically like the rent you would pay to use the space for the night. So because you get to dance in their club, you have to pay a fee to kind of like, you know, use their space. You're renting the space for that 4-hour period that you're there for, okay? So today we're going to do a purple look as usual because purple hair, right? So basically that's house fee. Management, bouncers, pretty self-explanatory. Bouncers get people out of the club. They should, not in my case. I'm going to explain that story. DJs, you know, they play the music, they keep the girls line up smoothly. And a house mom is just somebody who's there to oversee the dressing room, you know, make sure nothing crazy goes on down there, because things go on in the dressing room, and having a house mom there definitely keeps the waters smooth, if that makes any sense. So yeah, basically I typed out my response, so I'm going to read it, but I'm also going to be pausing to explain things, right? Okay, so since it is on my computer, but it's like a screenshot from my phone, I'm going to have to zoom in. So, I'm going to start, this is my response. I'm going to start from the DJs and house moms, since my club doesn't have those. The club I'm at right now doesn't have a DJ or a house mom. We play our own music. And then I said, but I have danced in clubs with them, and let me just say, I love house moms that not only bring the feminine hygiene products, but also food. I hate ordering food because it takes me away from the sales floor or the bar. So that's the response for house moms. I really had nothing to say about them because in all the years I've danced, let's see, I danced at I danced at 2 clubs that had house moms. The one club, house mom was there every night, so if you're there in the daytime, she wouldn't be there, I guess because it's less girls. And then if I danced in, if I danced at, what am I trying to say? The other club, the house mom was there at night, but she wasn't always there, so she might have been there a couple days out of the week, then she would, you know, take a break or whatever. Which honestly, when stuff went down, she wouldn't really be the one to like say anything, because I feel like that club, like, we kind of solved our own issues, so to speak. And if it got too loud, then yeah, the managers would run up. But the thing was, the dressing room was like on the 4th floor, and the bar, you know, all the managers and bouncers stay, was on the 1st floor. So you have to climb 4 flights of steps if you want to get up there. No one's gonna do that, right? Let's see. I always put too much Vaseline on, even though I'm gonna put lipstick on. It's so annoying. Let's see. Next, DJs, okay? They keep the lineup moving for sure and the music playing, but I hate a DJ who plays favorites. I danced in the inner city before. I'm from the suburbs, if you can't tell by my accent. And this DJ always made fun of me for my suburban vernacular. He would forget to put me on stage after I already checked in with him. Because when you come to that club, you have to go downstairs, tell the DJ, hey, it's me, Janet Kelly, I'm here. They're like, okay, they'll put you in the lineup so that you get to go on stage. And usually I might have to wait like a girl or two, at most maybe like 4, whoever got there down there first to check in, right? But there would be times where he would literally be like, oh, I danced under Fifi too. He's like, oh, Fifi, I forgot to put you on stage. And I'm like, the first 2 times it's like, okay, honest mistake, I guess. But after it happening every night, like it's almost like it's routine for you to do that, you know? And let me keep going. And he would play slow ass music when it was my turn. Sir, why am I dancing to this divorce song by Mary J. Blige? That song that's like, 11 years I sacrificed. Whatever that song is. If it's not Mary J. Blige, I apologize to the queen, but I can't think of who it is. Let's see. Oh, because I declined your offer to go on a date previously. So yeah, at first he was just like rude from the jump, just like always. Like I said, with the suburban vernacular, he would make fun of me for that. Anytime I would ask questions, stuff like that, like I feel like people who have never heard me speak before and just imagine I'm gonna sound like, I guess, an inner city black girl, which is nothing wrong with that, but when I say where I'm from, it's like I get made fun of, and I really don't like that. I always get the whole, oh, why do you talk white? Like, you can't talk like a color. You talk like, you speak like where you're from. You know, like if you guys know Hannah Eileen, she's another dancer. I think she's based in like, I don't know, she's like traveling. But she made this video saying that you are a product of your own environment because she's a white stripper. And a lot of people are like, oh, do you always talk like a black girl? And I like instantly identify with that. 'Cause it's like, I'm a black girl, I don't sound like that. You're gonna sound like wherever you're from. It's common like knowledge, but I just feel like it's common knowledge that isn't so common, let me say that. So yeah, I just always felt like I stood out amongst the girls there because it was predominantly black. Might have had like 1 or 2 white girls like ever, but it was predominantly black there. I feel like I didn't fit in, so he kind of came for me. But then he started to be like, oh, like when I used to order food, because the house mom wasn't always there, I would order food and what's it called? He'd be like, oh, what are you eating? And I'm like, oh, you know, General Tso's tofu. And he'd be like, oh, you know, maybe we can get some food together. Like, you know, I'll take you to some nice Asian spots. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet, but, you know, I'm not really interested. Oh, like, you're not interested in food? Like, you know, like little jokes like that. And I'm like, nah, I'm just not interested in seeing people outside the club because I don't want to have any relations with even like staff, like customers and staff. I can't see you outside here. Sometimes dancers, but it's never on some like, you know, sexual advantage type shit. So dancers, it's like, okay, whatever, but no, not the staff, because I don't want to mix business with pleasure, and I'm not going to sit there and go on a date with you just so I can get in the lineup sooner or have you play better music, because how come she gets to dance to Money by Cardi B, but I have to dance to like divorce type songs? Like, this isn't fair. So let me not do that color. So yeah, I just hated that because it's like you're fucking up the vibe of the club, okay? Because people will leave if they feel like the music is reminding them of something they don't want to be reminded of, you know what I mean? So, yeah, people would leave when the music was all slow. Like, I didn't even get to finish my stage set, and then I'm up there, like, dancing all slow to this breakup song, and I'm like, I don't want to be on stage to this music, because even I can't sit here and try to be sexy with it, because it's like, I'm thinking too much, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like over time I learned how to like zone out of the music and just kind of dance, but nah, I just can't. There's just some songs you just cannot dance to, you know. It's like disrespectful, because if I don't look happy on stage, the guy's gonna assume I'm not happy and I don't want to be there, and he's not gonna want to talk to me. It's gonna be like something that makes you unapproachable, you know. Let's see. Oh good, I'm only at 10 minutes because usually I talk forever. Okay, so now this is like the meat of the subject. So You made it this far, it's gonna get good. All right, so managers, here we go. Not for the managers. Just like the DJ, do not disrespect me if I don't want to date or fuck you. Do not pressure me to do those things. I don't want you, especially not from the club. If another dancer does some nut ass shit to me, she needs to be terminated. I actually go into details. So I'm not gonna go off too long, but I did want to say, I never had any managers that wanted to see me outside of there, which I'm happy of because I think it's, wait, I'm lying. I don't want to say it because I feel like it's going to be like outing someone, but okay, I do have an experience with that. It's not like that anymore. Like, we're cool, but it was I'm just not somebody to where I answer people directly sometimes. Or, you know, girls, you know how it is. You tell a guy you're not interested and it's, oh, you know, like, let's just go on a date like one time and see where things go. We can just be friends, like, you know, or I'm not trying to fuck you. It's like, well, yeah, but no. You know, it's just like, listen, if I'm not interested, I'm not interested. It's nothing against you. It's just like, you know, maybe I'm just not wanting a relationship. But especially, I met you in the club and I'm a dancer here. It's not just like, you know, I'm another girl you met at the club. Like, I dance here, you already saw me naked, and now I feel uncomfortable because it's like, now I know that you're interested in me and it's going to make working with you, like, weird. Anyways, let me go into the bitch that did some nut ass shit to me, right? Hold on, did I specify? Okay, I did, and I'm gonna explain that later. So basically, this bitch wanted to get back at me for God knows what. I lived with her when she needed help with rent, and one day she just wanted me out. Okay, whatever. But she snapped and began to harass me at the club. I'm actually gotta making a video about this because I didn't want to say too much on a post because, one, I feel like I shouldn't put too many people in my business, but at the same time I'm putting it on here, so it's like whatever. But I wanted to actually go into detail. So basically, she had a roommate before. Her roommate realized that she's crazy and had to jump ship. This was like a few months after they just got the place. Then she started to struggle with rent, and we were close and all that, and I already wanted out of my situation, even though it wasn't a bad one. I was just being like, I want to be free and stuff like that. So I was like, yo, like, I'll help you out. Like, it's no deal, it's no problem. At first I had like what's the word, I was kind of hesitant to do that. Like, there was like something inside me, it's like, I don't think you should do that, you know. And then I was like, you know what, let me not only help her out but help myself out, because I don't like where I am right now. So I move in with her probably like a month after all her bullshit happens. Like, I was like, okay, you can be good for this month? And she's like, yeah. Oh no, she said she was like short, I think like $70, and I lended it to her that night after the club. So basically I met her at a different club, and then when I went back to my home club, I was telling her about it, like, yeah, I dance here now, and we started dancing together, and then we moved in together, right? Well, at least I moved into her spot. My name wasn't on the lease, so I didn't really have any rights, so to speak, and subletting was illegal there. So I was not only breaking the rules, but I mean, I was doing a good job of hiding it. She just kind of ruined it for everybody. But nah, basically, you know, things were good in the beginning, and then things got rocky. Like, I forgot exactly like what triggered it all, but I know for a fact that she's not somebody who likes to be told what to do. You know what I mean? But it's like, listen, if you're living with me, you have to keep yourself clean, okay? I know I have my messy days, but my whole thing is like, bro, why the fuck are you, how do you say it? Why the fuck are you refusing to keep public areas of the house clean, like the kitchen, the bathroom? That's not cool, you know? So anyways, I don't want to go too much into that, but she wasn't really having that, and after a while, she didn't like being told what to do, and so she's like, you gotta get out. One day, like, it was already getting like messy, but I didn't think that she was gonna say ever like kick me out. So that happened. I probably moved out like 2 or 3 days later, because you know, it takes a while to get your stuff out of a place. And probably like 2 months before I got kicked out, I had this procedure that a lot of women get. I really don't want to go into crazy detail, even though I did put it in my response. she brought my blank documents into the club and laid them out on the dressing room table, and my boss did not fire her. Oh, and when I said harass me at work, like, it started as little small things, right? Like, if she was leaving the dressing room and I was leaving the dressing room, instead of holding it open and leaving it open, because it's not like a door where it has resistance, you can just leave it open, she would close the door when I was on my way out behind her. It was like fucking rude. What else? If I was on stage at the same time as her, like, there's two poles, but it's like 2 poles on 2 different stages, right? And then if you're the girl on the first stage, you control the 2 songs that play. If you're on the backstage, you just dance to that music. So you only control the music when you're on the first stage. She would play songs that were super long, or songs that I just didn't really vibe with on purpose, you know what I mean? Because we used to like kind of sync up our genres for music, but she wasn't doing that. She would intentionally bump into me. When she went around to collect tips, like, that's how we do it at our bar. We go on stage and we collect tips. She would like skip over me. Like, if I'm sitting with the guy, she would like pass that customer and not even acknowledge them because she didn't want to be near me. It's like, okay, I'd rather have you like ignore me than to intentionally do things, you know what I mean? Because then it's just like, okay, you don't like me, that's cool and all, but you're not gonna fuck around in a place at work. Like, keep things professional and cordial, right? So basically, I don't want to go into detail about the procedure with my documents that I just talked about, but I have this tattoo that says "My body, my choice," meaning I'm pro-choice with anybody, and especially my own body. So if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what procedure I had. So basically, yeah, she brought those papers in the club because when I was moving out, I remember leaving, it was like, you know, all my information there, like the pills I had to take, I had it in a paper bag, and I left it at the house, not intentionally, accidentally, because like I was running out of space and also just time because I had to move before she got back home because I just didn't want to hear any of it, right? Shit, I just spilled some on here. So she brought them in the club one day, right? And this was after she kind of left me alone for a bit, so I'm like, okay, things are good, I guess. She brought them in the dressing room, and I was on the floor when this all happened. Put them in the dressing room, spread them all out over the table. So like my name, the procedure, all this stuff was out there, which honestly, you're crazy to do something like that. That's a total invasion of privacy, right? What time is it? Oh shit, I gotta go to work soon. I'm just really passionate about this topic. So basically, another dancer was like, there's some stuff for you in the dressing room, you might want to go check it out. And at first I'm thinking like, what is she talking about? Then I'm like, oh shit, it can't be. I go in there, see what happens. But they put all the papers in a bag, so it wasn't on the table anymore. Thank God to them. But I lost it. And honestly, if I would have run out as soon as it happened, I probably would have assaulted her. But I'm like, she's not worth me losing my job. Because at least if I can go to another club, that's when I went to the club that I talked about in the first place. At least if I went out smoothly and went to a different club, I can come back. I don't want to ruin my chances of dancing there, right? So yeah, basically I run out and I'm like, yo, you need to fire her right now. She did some nut ass shit, brought my fucking important medical documents there. And at this point, I didn't even care that I was in the bar and being loud. I was enraged because usually I keep my personal shit in the dressing room or outside the club. I don't bring it inside. But that bitch drawed that day, okay? Brought my shit into the club and then just acted like it's not that serious or you need to chill out. And I was gonna do some shit, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna be the bigger person in this example. And even though I'm still kind of mad about it, I got my stuff, I got dressed, I was out the door. I said, I'm not coming back. Of course, I came back probably like a year later because I didn't really find a better spot. But she wasn't there anymore, so I was happy that, like, when I was told, like, she's not here anymore, like, you can come back, we miss you, customers miss you, so I came back, and now she's not allowed to dance there anymore, so everything worked in my favor. But yeah, like, I'm not somebody who's gonna sit there and start a fight because I don't think that it's necessary, and I just don't, you know, I still want to have a good representation of myself when I go out in public. So this is the last part and the juiciest part. So this is a different club that I danced at in the city, but it just is another reason I don't like city clubs. So this club in particular played favorites, you know. So that club, it's an open schedule. It's open from 3 to 3. So you can come in at 3 o'clock and stay till 3 o'clock, or you can come in at midnight and stay till 3 a.m., you know. But the the later you come, the higher the house fee, because you're not going to be there for too long, right? Or you chose to wait all day. Let me not say that first one because it makes it sound like, so I have to crack my wrist real quick. It makes it sound like you kind of waited all day if you come in at midnight. So it's like, okay, if you want to work, you got to pay this high ass house fee. So it gives you the incentive to come in sooner than later, right? So I used to come in early, like 3 to 6 or something like that. So the one Sunday I was there, and I mind you, I paid like probably $36 for house fee. So what I expect out of a bouncer when it comes to house fee is for you to protect me at all costs. This is why I don't do private parties, because I don't always know there's going to be security there, and I don't want to be in a situation where I can't get out of it. You know what I mean? A bouncer will take the problem out of the club, or what they should do, you know, bounce them over there on the fucking street. So I was there one Sunday, and I'm on the stage with this other girl at this club. We're allowed to get naked, so I was naked on the stage. We're doing some lesbian shit, you know. And we're on stage probably like 15 minutes together. She got off and I danced probably like one more song. And there was like 3 guys surrounding the bar. And you know, of course, like, oh, that pussy's so beautiful, I want to touch it. They're throwing money. But the one guy was really, really drunk, but he was just handing us 20s, you know, which was great. Like, throwing on the stage, you're handing it to us, put in our, well, not our panties, because we don't have panties, but in my boots, I guess. You know, place it on me nicely. And that was a great stage set. I made some money. I was really happy about that. I'm gonna call this guy Heineken. So he was like really drunk, drinking Heineken, of course. And as I'm getting my stuff to get off stage, like, I'm still naked at this point, right? So I grab my bikini top, I grab my money bag, and I'm beginning to put my shoes on. Now it's these shoes right here. So not only are they strapless, but they were brand new, so they were really new that night. And they're also, I think they're 8 inches, and I only really do like 6 or 7, and you will feel an inch difference. So I'm getting ready to get up. So I'm like, let me show you how it's kind of set up, because it's like the stage, and then it's like a guardrail, and the stage itself is probably like waist level, so you can walk up and, you know, hand the girls money, which I thought was pretty cute. Not in this example though. So imagine me butt ass naked, and if you can't get my OnlyFans, so I was on the stage like this with my thigh facing him, right? And he's like, oh, I want to touch that pussy. I got $100. And I'm like, no, I'm good. He's like, oh, come on, you fucking whore. Why don't you take this money? He just got butt ass naked on stage for all of us. And I'm like, I'm good, thank you. And he just kept on going on, like, calling me bitch, whore, slut, you know, the huge. And I'm like, I'm trying to remember, like, when did he tell me to shut up? I think he said shut up after I kept declining him. And then he leans in, and I feel like I was in a movie, bites me on the thigh. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You don't just go fucking biting me because I don't want to take your fucking money, touch my fucking pussy. Get the fuck out of here. As I'm sitting here spazzing, I'm thinking the bouncers and the manager should be running up right the fuck now and bouncing him out of the club. They don't do shit but stop, stand, and stare at me going off. And I'm looking on the whole entire bar, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm spazzing on this guy, and no one's coming to my defense. Not the dancers, which I don't blame them, but not the dancers, not the bartenders, not other customers, and especially not the ones who are paid to do their job, right? I got my shit and I left. And my fucking panties for the outfit were gone, which I'm really pissed, because it wasn't just like a regular bikini. It was a custom outfit that I was making money in. And I was so pissed that it happened, because it's like, I'm never going to get the outfit back. And I met the lady again who made the outfit for me, but she did it again, but it was like a different rendition of it. And I just wasn't feeling it. I was like really pissed that I had to say goodbye to that outfit. But then I'm like, you know what? He needed that outfit more than I needed it, and I'm done with that club. Which I really wasn't, because, oh shit. That's the club that I escaped to when that whole situation with the other girl went down. So I didn't really want to go back just yet. So I went to that club again the next day, right? And this, I know they play favorites, because the girls that were there before, right, like before I got there, because they were there probably like a year or so, there was like 2 girls that were in the dressing room, and they started to, you know, argue, and then it got louder. As soon as they started arguing for me, I'll dip out of the dressing room when people start to argue, right? So I left, and went to like here's the dressing room, and I was like outside the dressing room, like where the seating area was, because it's like two sides of the club. And I just left. I'm like, I can't be in here. And of course, as soon as they start getting loud and noisy, bouncer, manager, other manager runs back there, speed of light, trying to see what's going on. They didn't actually fight, it was just all verbal. But the fact that you sat there and responded in seconds when you couldn't see the danger, but then when I was bit on stage, you didn't do shit, like, it just makes me think, like, wow, like, you guys really play favorites, or I just must not be that cool. And I'm trying to think if this was the same day, like when I got bit, I'm trying to think if this was the same day that I didn't have my house fee with me. Like, I was like broke.com, like I didn't have any money to even pay house fee, which I usually do at least, and then I'll be like broke until I get paid that night. But no, literally, I'm just putting some oil in my hair in the mirror, but literally, they didn't do shit that day for me, even though I think I paid the house fee late. And when I paid him, he was like, thank you. And it's like, bro, I could see if I never paid it when I walked in the door. I could see if I was never ready to pay it. That was the one and only time. You know what I mean? He's like, just pay me as soon as you make it. I'm like, okay. And then had a whole attitude about it. I'm like, bro, like, I'm gonna pay you. I guess there's a history of girls not paying their house fee, but like, I'm going to pay you. Like, I've been paying you this whole entire time, right? So yeah, basically I was saying how I was bitten while performing on stage, and I yelled at this guy for 30 seconds before realizing, oh wow, everyone, including the bouncers, managers and bouncers, are just fucking staring at me. And then he had the audacity to apologize after I was getting my shit together and leaving. Like, where were you when I was bit? And see, I'm somebody where it's like, I'm not going to be rude, so I'm like, it's fine, and I just walked out. But I'm like, why even apologize when fucking Heineken over here bit me? I'm pretty sure he's gonna be allowed in the club and everything, because you guys just look at me as $36. Anyways, and that was basically it. I was just saying, why am I paying $36 or $35 for house fee? Yeah, it's not that much, but I'm investing in my safety here. I'm done with Philly clubs for real, except for this one that always has my heart. They know who they are. At least at least the inner city ones. They don't care about suburban girls like myself. Emphasis on, I'm gonna say, suburban black girls, because the thing is, like, I've been around some people who are just like either low-key or blatantly racist, you know what I mean, like calling one of the good black girls because I don't sound like a ghetto fabulous girl, which I think is so fucked up to say. I think that you're a product of your own environment, and if you sound like that environment, doesn't mean that you're a bad product, if that makes sense. And I just hate being, put on, either I'm put on a pedestal, or I'm put on like this, oh, she thinks she's better than us because she's from the white part of town. Like, not really. I think we're all strippers right now. Why would I think of myself as better than anybody, This video is getting kind of lengthy, but in summation, for the house fee, I want the management to treat every girl the same way. So if somebody deserves to get fired, they deserve to get fired. No one should get a second chance for doing anything that breaches someone's privacy. I don't care if it's just in the dressing room. I don't care if it's a procedure that many women get. It's the principle of it. She continued to harass me up to that day, and then I had to leave, even though I've been here for like 3 years, and you guys put her before me. So I guess seniority's not a thing, huh? I'm gonna come back to bouncers because they're gonna be dead last. House moms, I just expect them to make feminine products. If they can food, it's not a necessity, but that definitely is appreciated. I think every girl should pay the house moms, let me say that, because there's sometimes where some girls are like, oh, I'm not tipping her because I didn't use the deodorant or the tampons or the food. It's like, still, the fact that she brought it here, one day you're gonna need something, and she's not gonna take this money out of her pocket forever, So I just expect them to just also be somebody to talk to, or be like, hey, do you think this outfit looks cute on me before I go downstairs and make a fool of myself? Stuff like that. DJs to keep the lineup moving smoothly, and to not hit on the girls, and to keep the music upbeat and sexy so the vibe isn't weird. Okay, like if it's slow and there's like one guy in there maybe, but still, maybe he wants to hear Throw 'Em Out by Pitbull. Don't sit there and play no breakup music. Anyways, also management, don't try to hit me either, because I don't, it makes things uncomfortable, and then I feel like, damn, like I'm bad at being confrontational with people, so I put up with a lot of shit that I shouldn't, or I'm just not so like, leave me alone, you know. So I just want there to be a professional environment, even though our asses and titties are out. Like, just have a little bit of, you know, respect. That's all I ask for. Let me put this makeup away. But and then bouncers, if somebody deserves to be bounced, get them out of there, because I don't want to pay you house fee in the beginning of my shift if I know that I'm investing in zero safety. You know, like, what is this money even for at this point? So yeah, just please just do your job and keep us safe, because a lot of dancers like myself, excuse me, do not want to dance in a a lot of dancers do not want to dance at private parties or anything sketchy, because they feel like it's not safe. And if you basically ruin that myth by making strip clubs unsafe, then it's like, wow, like, where can I dance then? You know what I mean? So yeah, thank you for watching. If you watched all this way, I know it's 31 minutes long, but you know, if you want to send it, I was gonna say share, share, or send it to anybody. Just tell them to play it while they're taking a shower or something, you know, or put in their headphones, because I feel like everyone needs to hear this, not just dancers, but you know, people who go to the club, managers and bouncers, especially house moms. You guys are awesome. I never had any problems with you. But yeah, just we need to get this out there so we can do better, because if we don't talk about it, then it's just going to keep on happening. So thank you again for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And if you're watching this on Instagram, please follow me and like this video and send it to all your friends. Get my face out there, please. I appreciate it. And yeah, have a good night, good morning, good day, wherever you are. Stay safe. Bye.